I'm Terry David Mulligan, and this is Mulligan's Stew podcast. I am also a member of the Critics' Choice, the Vancouver Film Critics Circle, and I've been doing this for years, acting in front of the camera and doing interviews behind the camera. So, Benjamin, were I in Vancouver, I would have interviewed you. I would have, asked if I could join the set, because this was a script I wanted to see made. It's fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thanks, and good to meet you, Terry. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I will ask you right off the top, because I'm fascinated by it. Why Vancouver? Why that spot on the earth and the Vancouver crew?
Oh my God, I could talk about the wonderful crew, the Canadian crew up there that were just absolutely phenomenal, and then the place as well, which I really fell in love with over all the months that we were there shooting. Just going from the story side of things, I think that the film was always going to be set in the Pacific Northwest. It's, technically in Seattle, that's where the setting is. But once I saw Vancouver, I really fell in love with it up there, and knew that we could find some of those incredible, arresting landscapes. And it was just the perfect place to shoot the movie.
For anybody who's ever grown up there, as soon as you see the shots, you know where you are. You know
Right.
where you are. You're on Eagle Ridge. You're looking out into the street. It's fantastic, and it's set beautifully. It brought me into the characters, the house that they were in, their lives, because I could relate to that.
Love that.
It's been 10 years to this moment. This is your opening day, literally. 5 years ago, you started writing this script. As you wrote, did you know what the ending was? Did you know what the composition was? How long did it take to form that?
Yeah, the ending was there early. Like always for me, with writing, I'll know the end and work towards getting there. So I knew how it was pretty early on. I knew how the film was going to end up. That's kind of my compass in a way.
Yeah.
And once I know that, then I can work out. But it took 5 years to work out how we were going to get to that end. So it's not that simple in a way. But yeah, it was a long process. I got some. There was great notes that I took on board from a lot of my collaborators throughout it that really enriched the story, and ultimately led us, to where we are now. But yeah, it's been a long time coming getting to this point.
There must have been personal loss in your life. We have all lost someone, whether we were very close to them or they were part of a family or relationship or whatever. And so the first thing we identify with is the fact that, I better ask this question. How much do you want the audience to know going in? What's important that they know?
I mean, I'm one personally who doesn't watch trailers, myself. I love to just go into a movie knowing nothing and watch it that way. I know that's not how everybody likes to consume things, and trailers are necessary. So I think that my philosophy is, a lot of my favorite movies, when I watch them second time, third time, fourth time, it makes no difference, because I'm finding new things in the films, and even though I know how it's going to end up, so I think it's fine if people go in and know, quite a bit or everything about this movie, really. But personally, I like to go in and sort of not know much and just be catching up to the story as I watch it for the first time.
But we do have to say that Mahershala Ali's character Cameron is terminally ill.
Yeah,
that's essential. His choices are presented to him by Glenn Close, the doctor, that he cloned himself, that his entire DNA is offloaded, and he gets to meet his clone. We can all put ourselves in that moment and say, what would I do? What would I say? How would I feel if I were looking at myself? And we're in the future. We're seeing changes. We'll get to that in a second.
Shall we go in? Molecularly regenerated.
This was Mahershala Ali's first lead. You handed him a tough assignment. Why was he the guy for it?
Yeah, wow. I mean, I've been a fan of his for years. And when I heard that he loved the script and wanted to meet, it was one of those kind of pinch yourself moments, to be honest. I read the script with him in mind, and suddenly a script that I'd gotten so close to and I couldn't see because I was so sort of close to it. I couldn't feel the emotions I felt as I wrote it. Suddenly, when I read it with him in mind and his voice and everything, it was just alive again. And then I got to meet him, and I just met this wonderful, talented, kind, just exciting person who instantly just was energizing me and making me feeling inspired about the story. And it is such a difficult role to try and play those two parts with the nuance he did and all of the layers that are involved there, and just to be able to work with a master like he is was crucial, and I feel so lucky.
What is it that the doctor, Glenn Close, what convinces him to do this eventually? What is it? Is it about his legacy? Is it his relationship? What does it? The tipping point.
Yeah, I think, and that was a huge part of the whole process, was trying to go through the various things or acting on this person to make a decision, like to go ahead and try an experimental procedure like duplicating yourself, right? And we realized that he's got a young family. He's got a wife, Poppy, and his son, 8-year-old son, Corey. There's a lot on the line for him. And I think the thing that made me, even though this movie is dealing with something that is, about death and things like that, actually, when I knew I had to make the movie was when I realized that through the process of him trying to decide whether or not to go ahead with letting his duplicate take his life, that I could interweave the love story, right? And really shine a light on a full life, all of the memories, a beautiful meditation on what memories mean, think about all of the ethical and moral dilemmas that he's going through, and really be able to just weave the human story into it. That was the thing that really was the most fun for me.
I like this, Cameron Turner.
I think after I met Poppy, I realized I wanted kids.
I like all of this.
Yeah. I was cynical for a long time.
Wow. Oh my gosh. We have scarily similar taste in books.
This idea of finding true love or a soulmate. And someone like Poppy comes along and you realize you're just surviving.
You play?
I butcher. But I'm not playing in front of you. I could have just gone on like that forever.
You better stop and think about what you're doing.
Oh, I love it. I just lucked out, I guess.
Benjamin Ceary trying to explain his life in 15 minutes and his film, of course. There is a question here. I started to make a list of all of the things in the future, because this happens in the future. Cars have changed, telephones, screens, everything drops down and disappears. Everything changes. Thumbs become mouses, everything. So the fact that someone could be cloned and be you is entirely possible. I know that you would have checked that out before you even started down this road. And so as much as I'm watching Cameron, I'm keeping an eye on Jack. I want to know what the hell Jack's about. Where is the glitch? Where is technology saying, I don't want to play this game? That was a delicate balance that you attempted.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that was at the heart of the script, right? Finding that balance. It was at the heart of filming and the wonderful work Mahershala did to create that nuance, and the whole team, right, to film it. And then, of course, in the edit, it was a huge task to try and find that balance. So it's been amazing. It's amazing hearing from you that was sort of landing, and I hope it lands for the audience. And I'm the feedback from people who've seen the movie has just been really heartwarming, because I'm straight away having these conversations with people and they're saying, oh, I didn't know how it was going to unfold, and I didn't know who to root for at times and things like that. And hearing that kind of thing makes all the work that it took from me and everyone on the team just worthwhile, you know?
Well, bigger questions for you. By the way, first of all, what do you, first thing you're ever told in film school? Stay away from shooting with dogs and kids.
Right.
Put a dog and a kid in the film. There you go, right there. The second thing is, you've lived this. How has it changed you?
Yeah, I mean, I was joking with someone there a couple of weeks ago saying that Swan Song has been like a 5-year long overdue form of like self-therapy for me or something. I went through some losses in my own life when I was younger, and ended up walking around the world constantly worried about what would happen if someone else I loved passed away, what would happen if something happened to me. And I think it's these writers take these thoughts, these hard, difficult things that are spinning around their head constantly, and it ends up morphing into an imagined set of story facts like Swan Song. And I think that I never sought therapy or anything like that. And I think probably a lot of the things that are in Swan Song are coming from me over the last 5 years exploring the pain in a real way, really shining a light on it for the first time maybe. So it's changed me. I think I've learned a lot from it, and personally, and then of course, making a film like this, going from making a short movie to suddenly walking onto set with 200 people and Mahershala Ali, Naomie Harris, Glenn Close, Aquafina, like it's still, I'm still waiting for that moment. I'm just going to like wake up and I'll still be back in my flat in London trying to finish my short movie or something and be like, oh my God, that was crazy. So it's been beautiful. I'm really grateful. I feel really lucky, and I've learned a huge amount. So, yeah.
Oh, I just saw you just sitting here, and I made this thing. It's in my bag. There you go.
Wow. Oh, you're good.
Thank you. I realize now that even makes me look more like a psycho.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not. Promise.
A talented psycho is better than a talentless one, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm Cameron, by the way.
Cameron? Poppy.
Poppy.
And I use this as an analogy. There was a time when we were all reading, of a certain age, we were reading comic books, and Dick Tracy had a watch that he could talk to. And
Right.
I was sick. Come on. Well, here we are now, and everything that you have laid out in this film is entirely possible.
Right.
Cloning, DNA, everything. Does it give us hope for the future, or are some people going to dread what's going to happen?
I think there'll be both. And there is that dichotomy with technology. I think even the internet, if you look at it, it's created lots and lots of good, but also it has created bad. Everything I researched for the movie, the scary thing for me was everything I researched. I was told from experts and people who know about this stuff that it was a matter of when, not if, which was really, I mean, what I hope with the movie, and like no spoilers or anything, but what I hope is that it's a conversation starter too, because I think these conversations about technology like this are probably going to come around sooner than we think.
Sure.
And so, I think it'll be a mix. Some people are going to be scared about technology like this. Some are going to potentially think it's something that's, worth exploring, but it's, what's coming seems to be coming pretty soon, pretty quick.
Two questions, both of them big. One is awards. Do you see awards for acting here, for filmmaking? Do you hope? I mean, you can't hang your hat on it, but it has.
It's been really, and it's been to be hearing it getting talked about like that in over the past couple of weeks has been really thrilling. You never make something thinking about that. I think that a lot of people did a lot of beautiful work in the movie, and if it gets recognized like that, that's a great bonus.
Okay. And the other big question is, you're from Ireland.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself a Canadian beer that you liked?
A beer?
A beer or a whiskey?
Oh my God, I probably would have if we hadn't have shot it during COVID. So we were like barely out or anything. But I probably would have found something. But yeah, shooting under COVID meant I don't think bars were even. I mean, I guess they were a bit open, but we weren't really. We were trying to all keep each other safe, so we weren't really doing any of that for the whole shoot.
Thank you for a soundtrack that I can play. Thank you for Moon River, Aquafina, Adam Beach, all of them. Thank you for shooting in British Columbia, Vancouver specifically, and we invite you to come back.
Thank you so much. That means a lot, and I will definitely be back.
Thank you, mate. Congratulations.